Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my FreeCAD Fun channel. Today I'm going to create practice model. Let's see, for the drawing this model, this we can create the basic shape for the circle and union with the rectangle, and then in the back side we can create the circle and the tangent circle to the cylinder and create a hole. Okay, let's try to FreeCAD for the, it's already part design. Okay, click for part design and then create sketch and choose exit plane. Okay, now let's check for the size cylinder. For the diameter 40, and then the rectangle for the thickness of 15 millimeter. Now the length 50 millimeter or 60 plus 20, so 80 millimeter. Okay, now let's go to the cylinder first. Now we can create this circle. Okay, another circle. Okay, for the dimension, check first diameter 40 and diameter 20. For diameter 40 millimeter for the outside diameter. Okay, for the inside diameter 20 millimeter. Okay, now let's create the rectangle with the distance 60 plus radius 20, so 80 millimeter. Okay, this rectangle, click this point and the axis line for the symmetrical, and then create thickness for 15 millimeter. Okay, let's check the drawing. 15 millimeter. Okay, and then for the distance, this point to this vertical axis for the 80 millimeter. Okay, now we can cut this circle. Okay, cut again this line, and then delete this line. Okay, so now the sketch fully constrained. Now we can close the sketch. Okay, now let's check for the plane. axis using space. Okay, so we can left the exit plane. Now we can create pad. For the sketch, create pad. Okay, for the wide 50 millimeter. Okay, let's type 50 millimeter. Okay, let's hide first. Okay, now the basic has been created. Now we can check for the lightning. Okay, now direction for the lightning. Okay, and then create color, choosing emerald, and then for the color let's use this color. Okay, close the color. Okay, now go to the drawing. Let's create this first, the cut for triangle. Okay, click this face and then click sketch. Okay, let's say the diameter is not in the center, so let's check for this, for the sketch first. I think it's right in the center. Okay, so okay, maybe the pad, I will change the pad to the maybe let's check for the x-axis. Okay, y. Okay, I think it's okay. Now create this face for a sketch, and then I will try to create triangle. Let's see. Okay, and this is the right place. Double check again, and then create this line for vertical. Now I will create external geometry, and then create this point with this point into one. Okay, now create for the dimension 50 millimeter with the 25 millimeter. Click this line for the distance 50 millimeter, and this vertical line for the 25 millimeter. Okay, now the sketch fully constrained. Let's close the sketch and then create pocket to first, so same with the thickness. Click OK. Okay, now for the next, let's create this shape. Okay, let's create the circle. Let's check for the exact plane. We can unhide. Okay, so click this exact plane and then click sketch. So I will create Arcus. Okay, from this point to this point. Okay, now so I will create external geometry. Okay, create this point to this line, I mean this point. Check for the tangent constraint. Okay, now create for the dimension radius 20, so click this Arcus with the radius 20 millimeter. Okay, now let's create for another radius. So this radius tangent with this radius and the cylinder. Okay, now create external geometry in this circle, or maybe we create circle or Arcus from this point to this point to this point with the radius or diameter 40 millimeter. Okay, click this radius and its dimension for 40 millimeter diameter. Okay, now we can create Arcus again. Click the center from this point to this point. Okay, now click this point with this point for the tangent. Okay, now click this point with the radius for the tangent. Okay, now we create the radius with the tangent constraint, and then we can lengthen this radius. Okay, now create a line from this point to this point, and we can cut this line radius and this radius. Okay, now so it's already 3 degrees. We can check. Okay, so create this let's see, only this. Okay, now we can check for the position 32, and then 60 from the center to center. Okay, now create this point to this point for the 60 millimeter, and then create this point with this point. No, this center point. To let's create external first, external geometric. Okay, this center point to this line. Okay, for the distance 32 millimeter. Okay, left the 2 degree. Okay, let's say now this point to this line, fix, not, I think it's already tangent, I think. Okay, now left 1 degree. So can use for the radius. Tangent. Okay, so check for the radius, 20, 60, create this axis with this center for 60 millimeter. Okay, no, it's already 60 millimeter. There's no radius here, so what can we use for the dimension or constraint? If we check this in the center, so we can assume this point with this point, fix. Okay, I think this is the best way for this to define this drawing. Okay, so the sketch fully constrained. Now we can close, and then we can create path for the thickness 15 millimeter. Okay, let's type 15 millimeter. Okay, now okay, oh, I forgot for the circle. We can edit again the sketch. Let's create circle for the dimension diameter 20. Okay, diameter 20 millimeter. Okay, let's close the sketch. Now the second part already finished. We can check again to the drawing, and okay, I think the model is already finished. We can check this for refine. Let's see. Okay, I think this is good. So check for the drawing. Okay, okay, I think this is good. Now we can hide the plan. Okay, so I think that's enough for this practice. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.